we exhale, release the jaw, open the mouth and sigh it all out. Just let it all go. And on your next inhale, draw the arms above the head, coming into a full body stretch here. Option to keep the eyes soft, or perhaps start to flicker them open, and then take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. And as you inhale, lengthen, elongate the spine. And as you exhale, draw that left hand over towards the top right hand corner of your mat. And just as you take your next inhale, breathe into that left side body here. And as you next inhale, come back to center. Release that hand, take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. And as we inhale, we're going to draw tall. And on your exhale, you draw that right wrist over towards the left hand side. Try and ground both shoulders into the earth here. And then as you inhale at this position, just really breathe into that right side body. And relaxing the shoulders here so they're not by our ears. And then on our next inhale, draw yourself back to center. Take one long last full body stretch here. And then as we exhale, we're going to engage our tummy muscles and draw our knees in towards our chest. And just give yourself a little bit of a hug here. Perhaps rock your knees from side to side. Start to massage that lower back. And then place the hands underneath the creases of our knees. And we're going to inhale out. We're going to lift the hips off the ground, draw the knees in towards our chest as we slowly rock ourselves a couple of times forwards and backwards, coming up to a seated position at the front of your mat. So I'm just going to face you, but keep space to the front of your mat. Brilliant. So come into a comfortable seated position here. Ground down through the sit bones, pull up through the crown of the head. If your knees are a little bit high, perhaps place a cushion underneath. Fantastic. And then place the palms of our hands down on our knees. As we next inhale, we're going to drop our right ear to our right shoulder, feeling a lovely stretch along the sides here. As you exhale, draw the chin to your chest, looking down at your feet and at your navel. Feeling a lovely stretch along the back of the neck. And then inhale, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. That's it. Exhale, draw your chin to your chest. And then inhale, lift your right ear to your right shoulder. And then come back to center. Great. And then from here, we're going to inhale, lift the arms out wide. As we exhale, we're going to fold over that front leg and come down to a forward position. That's it, feeling a lovely stretch along the outside of our hips potentially. Keep grounding those sit bones into the earth. And then walk our hands over towards the top left hand corner, Place your right hand on top of left. Keep grounding both sit bones into the earth as we inhale. Breathe into that right side. As we exhale, perhaps let go and fold a little deeper. Walk our hands across the front of the mat now. Coming all the way over to the right side, placing the left hand on top this time. Relaxing the face, relaxing the neck, and then just breathe into this side body here. Just starting to wake up the spine as we come into our practice. Then we're going to walk our hands over towards the front of the mat. Walk our hands back in towards our foot, and then we're going to draw all ourselves up, rolling our shoulder blade, rolling our back up one vertebra at a time, coming up to our seated position. Great, maybe give ourselves a bit of a wiggle here. And then we're going to either roll over our feet or bring the legs round, coming into we're actually going to come down to sitting onto our knees here. Okay, if you are on maybe a wooden floor, you may want to place a blanket underneath or fold the mat up just to protect your knees. But from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a flow just to warm up our spine. So we'll do it slowly to start with, and then we will go through it a couple more times, perhaps a little bit quicker, but not too quick. So as we next inhale, we're going to rise off of our bottoms, lifting the arms out wide, lifting the arms above our head. As we next exhale, we're going to draw our hands apart, draw our shoulders back and bend at the elbows, coming into cactus arms, lifting the chest high, lifting the gaze up towards the sky. As you next exhale, place the hands down on the floor, coming into a tabletop position. Pressing into the tops of our feet and our fingers. As we next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze, coming into our cow pose. As you exhale, draw your shoulder blades apart, tuck the tailbone in, tuck the chin onto your chest, coming into our cat. Really draw those shoulder blades apart here, bringing that tummy button into the back of the spine. And then as you next inhale, sit the bottom back, coming into a baby child pose. And then draw the hands in slowly as we roll ourselves up one vertebrae at a time, coming back to our spine tall, but sitting onto our ankles. Or if this is a bit uncomfortable, just come up on your knees. Then from here, inhale, lift the arms up high in front of you. They're above our head. And then as you exhale, draw your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you, coming into a nice twist here. Inhale, bring the arms back up. And then as you exhale, we're going to swap sides. So our right hand onto our left knee and our left hand behind. Really opening up through the chest, drawing your shoulder blades back. And then as you inhale, next bring the hands up. And then meet in prayer and exhale, bring down to heart center. Okay, so we're going to try and flow with our breath a little bit more here. So let's try. As we inhale, let's come up off our bottom, lift up towards the ceiling. As you next exhale, bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades apart, lift the chest up towards the sky, and lift your back bend. As we exhale, come down to that tabletop position. And then on our next inhale, press into the soles of the top of our feet. As we inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze, coming into our cow. As you exhale, press into your fingertips. As you tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin in, draw your shoulder blades apart into our cat. Feeling that lovely stretch along the top of your back, across your shoulder blades. And then as you inhale, sit your bottom back down towards your feet. Walk your hands in mindfully and slowly, as if they're kissing the mat. And then slowly roll yourself up, coming up to a straight spine, but either sitting or lifting up onto your knees. Inhale, lift the arms up high in front of us, so they're above our head. As we exhale, place your left hand on your right knee. Bring the right arm to the back of the mat, coming into a twist. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, swap over. So your left hand has come into the back, your right hand is on your left knee. And then inhale, bring the arms up. Take the gaze up to the hands, stay meet in prayer. Exhale, slowly bring them down to heart center. Okay, we're going to do that one more time, so really make sure the spine is awake. So as we inhale, we can lift up to the sky, lifting our hands above our head. As we exhale, bend at the elbows, draw the shoulder blades back, lift the chest high, lift the gaze to the sky. As you exhale, place the hands on the floor, come into a neutral tabletop position. From here, drop the belly as you inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, press into the earth with your tops of your feet and into your fingers as you tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin to your chest. Then inhale, draw your hips back to your heels, come into a baby child pose, and then walk your hands in, kissing the mat nice and slowly and mindfully, coming into your knees as you slowly roll yourself up, coming to a long spine here. Inhale, lift the arms up above the head, coming up in front of you. As you exhale, bring your right hand behind you, your left hand onto your front right knee here, into a twist. Inhale, lift the arms up high. As you exhale, draw your left hand behind you, bring your right arm to your left leg. And then inhale, lift the arms up. Meet in prayer, and then let's exhale, slowly bring the hands down to heart center. Fantastic. Then we're going to just place the knees as wide as the mat now, keeping your big toes together. And then slowly walk your hands forward, coming into a nice full child's pose here, letting the head melt towards the earth. So your forehead is coming towards the earth. Perhaps if you're not quite there, maybe just hang the head there, or maybe if you've got blocks or a book or a cushion, you can place your forehead on the cushion. And just take a moment here to breathe into the back body. So as we inhale, feel the ribs, the back of the spine, drawing up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you melt down into the earth below. Now, at any point within the practice today, you just feel like you need a little bit of time, you can always come down to this pose just to take a rest, or just to come back to your breath. It's short practice, so make sure you're listening to your body. And then from there, you're going to slowly press into your hands. You walk your hands in towards your body, coming up to a tabletop position, so drawing the knees in, so they're hip distance apart. From here, tuck the toes under, and then you're going to walk your hands back. We're just going to come into a stretch here of your toes and your feet. Now you can keep your knees hip width apart. Just make sure all your toes are tucked under. So this will stretch out the feet here, but it also actually stretches out the back of our hamstrings because it's all connected. So whilst we're here, let's just circle the wrists here, because we're going to do quite a bit on our wrists with downward facing dogs today, and a few planks in there. So once you've circled the wrist, see if you can keep in this position. Try not to lean forward. Keep your shoulders in line with your spine, shoulders in line with your hips, sorry. And then from here, we can then place our hands on the floor and just untuck the toes and tap them under here, just to release, because it can be quite a tough pose. Okay. So from here, we're going to go from our tabletop position. We're going to tuck our toes back under, sit back onto our heels, press into all 10 fingers, and then keeping our chest as close as we can to our thighs. We're going to lift our hips high, coming into our first downward facing dog of the practice. So keeping the knees bent if you've got tight hamstrings. Trying to draw our shoulders in, our chest close to our thighs. Drawing our belly button in towards our spine to engage in our core. Fantastic. And perhaps here you may want to walk out to your dog. So bend one leg and draw the heel down towards the back of the mat. And then swap over. So just take a moment to feel how your body is feeling today. Maybe one side, one leg maybe feeling a little bit tighter in the back of the legs. Or maybe your shoulders feel tight. Just check in and just notice how you're feeling. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift your left leg high. As you exhale, draw your shoulders over your wrist, bring that left knee in towards our chest, pressing down into the earth. And then place the foot in between your hands, perhaps using your hands to help catch you there if you need to. Lower the back knee and tuck the back toe. Just make sure that your front knee is in line with your left ankle. From here, you're going to inhale, lift the arms up high, coming into low lunge. As you exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the face, and just really start to feel that lovely stretch along the front of your right hip flexor. So drawing that right hip forward, so it's in line with your left hip back, keeping it all very straight. And your knee should be going over your second toe. I then would like you to bring your arms out wide and interlace your fingers behind your back. On your next inhale, draw the hands away, opening up through the chest, opening the heart up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Lovely. And then tuck the back toe under. We're going to press into that front foot, and we're going to press into our back foot as we become really strong, coming into that high lunge, still with our hands interlaced behind our back. So we're engaging that core here. Fantastic. And then as you next exhale, draw the hands back in towards the body, release the arms. And then we're going to inhale, lift the arms up high. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw your right hand to the front of the mat, your left hand towards the back, coming into a twist. That's it. Good, pressing down into that front arm. That's it. And then from here, you're going to place that right hand down in the inside of your left foot, bringing that left hand up towards the sky, coming into a twist down here. Now, option to stay here, or lower the back, or to lower the back knee and to step that left foot back to a supported plank. Or you may want to see if you can bring yourself from here to the side plank straight away, with so either a full side plank or a supported. The option is yours. You're seeing if you can take your gaze up to that left hand, lifting up through the hips, so your left hip up towards the sky in whichever variation of side plank you're in. Keep breathing. And then exhale, place that left hand down on the floor, lower the knees down and tap the toes. Roll the shoulder blades over, shoulders over the wrist, and then as you exhale, lower your forehead down towards the ground. As you next inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, push into the tops of your toes and your fingers. As you inhale, lift up the baby cobra, keeping the arms slightly bent, so we're not coming up to straight arms just yet. As you exhale, fold forwards down, and then push back into a downward facing dog. So push your hips back towards your heels, press into your fingers, and then lift your hips high, coming into your downward facing dog. Fantastic. Okay, this time we're going to go on to the other side. So as we inhale, let's lift our right leg high. As we exhale, draw our shoulders over our wrists, bring our right knee in towards our chest, and just hold it here for just a brief second, engaging that core as we then step it in between our hands. Our right foot is now in between our hands. Lower the back leg, untuck the back toe. As we inhale, lift the arms up high. Exhale, sink deeply into that front hip, making sure that our alignment, just checking that our right knee is in line with our ankle and it's over our second toe, so it's not wobbling outwards or inwards. Just breathing here, relaxing everything, relaxing into that lovely stretch of that left hip flexor. And then as you exhale, draw the arms down, around, interlace your fingers, but the non-habitual way, so the non-normal way. And as you inhale, draw the heart, draw the chin up towards the sky, opening up through the chest, perhaps sinking a little bit deeper into this pose. So really trying to open up our chest today, because a lot of the time during, when we're working over the computers, we do the complete opposite. So we're going to try and reverse that. And then we're going to tuck the back toe under, press into that front foot and into our back toes. And then we press into the earth, engaging our core, coming up to our standing pose here. Fantastic. And as you exhale, release the arms down by our sides, give them a bit of a shake. And then we're going to inhale, bring the arms up high, above our heads. And then as we exhale, draw your left hand towards the front of the mat, right hand behind, coming into a reverse twist. Keeping strong in the legs. If you need to come down to a low lunge, that's okay. But really engaging your core here, wherever we are. Fantastic. And then wherever you are, you're going to place your left hand in the inside of your right leg, draw your right hand up towards the ceiling. And if you can, take your gaze up to the ceiling here. Fantastic. Then option to lower that back leg, step that front foot forward, coming up to a supported side plank, or coming into your full side plank. The option's yours. Squeezing your glutes, pulling up through your thighs, perhaps taking a gaze at your hand up to the top. Fantastic. Keep breathing. And then lower your right hand down towards the ground. Untuck the toes, lower the knees. Roll your shoulders over your wrists. As you exhale, lower yourself down towards the ground. This time, options for either the same as before, or roll the shoulders back. As you inhale, press into the tops of your feet. Pull up through the thighs. Lift the knees off the floor. Try and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Come into upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, lower your knees to the ground. Sit your bottom back. Bring the arms down by our sides and come so they're behind you, and come into a child's pose. And just take a couple of breaths here as you inhale through the nose. Exhale, sighs out through the mouth. That's it. One more time as we inhale. Exhale, sighs out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, just bring yourself back into your downward facing dog. So come to your tabletop position, tuck the toes under, sit back onto your heels, press into your fingertips as you then lift your hips high, coming into that lovely V shape here. Keeping that core engaged, so really drawing that belly button in towards the back of your spine. Great. Okay, so from here, going to, on our next inhale, lift our left leg high up into the sky. This time, you're going to yawn open the hip. Take a bend in your left leg, so your left foot is in towards your bottom. Coming to open your dog, your one-legged dog. And can you just take a moment to just check in with your shoulders and make sure your right shoulder hasn't dipped down and isn't in line with your left. So keep them in line here. And just really feel that lovely opening. Now, option here to swivel on your right foot all the way around, lifting up your left hand off the floor, placing that left foot on the ground, coming to your flip dog, or just stay in that one-legged dog. Take a couple of breaths, and then wherever you are, lower, we're all going to come round to either in your one-legged dog, place the foot back down on the floor if you're in your flip dog. Bring yourself back round to your downward facing dog. Come to a plank, so roll your shoulders over your wrist, lower your bottom. And then we're going to slowly lower ourselves down towards the ground in one long line. So either from this high plank or lower the knees, untuck the toes, roll the shoulders over, and really draw the elbows down. Really think about lowering the body in one go as you lower yourself down towards the ground in one go. Fantastic. So now we're going to place our forehead on the floor. You're going to bring the arms behind you so that your fingers are facing the back of the mat and your arms are out long. Brilliant. So on our next inhale, you're going to press into the tops of your feet, press into your thighs, press into your pelvis, and you're going to lift your chest, your head, and your arms off the ground, coming into half a locust. So as you inhale, come into that half locust. Take your gaze just to the top of your mat, so you're not creasing your neck and looking in front of you. You're still looking down, keeping that long spine from the base of your tailbone all the way through to the crown of your head. Keep breathing here. Perhaps on every inhale, you lift a little bit higher if you can. And then as you exhale, lower down towards the ground. Place your right cheek on the floor and just wiggle your hips from left to right. That's great. Now we're going to set this up one more time. So bring your forehead to the ground, tuck the chin in. And this time, I really want you to feel that grounding sensation into your pelvis, because on your next inhale, you can either do just your top half again, or this time you may want to try lifting your feet off the ground as well as your upper body. So you're going to lift your legs and your upper body. So on your next inhale, let's lift that high. Lift that chest, draw your shoulder blades together. That's it, opening through the chest. That's it, lifting the legs up, pointing those toes, pulling up through the thighs, squeezing the glutes. And then as you exhale, lower yourself down towards the ground. Place your left cheek on the floor and just wiggle your hips from left to right just to release that lower back. Fantastic. And then bring the arms in towards our chest. And as you exhale, you're going to press into the ground, push back, tuck the toes under and then press you into your hands as you push up to a downward facing dog. Okay, fantastic. So here, you're going to inhale, lift your right leg high. That's it. Draw that left heel down towards the back of the mat. Bend that right foot in towards your bottom and yawn that right knee up towards the ceiling. Check in that your shoulders are in line still, so your left shoulder isn't dropping below your right. Press into your fingers. And then if you wish, you can either stay here, really feeling that lovely opening across your right hip, or if you wish to do your flip dog on the other side, you twizzle on that left foot, bring your right foot behind you, stretching out your left leg, bending your right, lifting your arm up towards your right arm up towards the sky, opening up all through the front body here. That's it. Lifting your heart up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, wherever you are, you bring your right hand down towards the floor, your right leg down towards the floor, and come into your downward facing dog. Fantastic. And then on your next inhale, roll your shoulders over your wrists, come into your plank. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Roll the shoulders over, engage that core. So really pull that belly button in towards your spine. And then as you exhale, draw the elbows in towards the body as you lower yourself down in one go. Okay, so we've been here before, so we kind of know what we're doing, but we're going to try a different variation if you wish. So you can either place the palms of the hands down on the floor, fingers facing the back of the mat, or you're going to interlace your fingers behind you. So we've already done something like this earlier, so we're going to roll our shoulder blades back, interlace our fingers, and as we next inhale, you're going to draw your hands away from the body, ground your hip bones into the earth as you inhale, lift up, come into your locust pose. There we go, getting a nice stretch along the shoulders, keeping that spine straight, that neck long, feet pointed, pulling up through the thighs, engaging that glutes. That's it. And then as you exhale, lower your hands back in towards the body if they're interlaced. Place your right cheek on the floor. Place the hands down either side and just wiggle the hips from left to right. That's it. Maybe just take a breath in. As you exhale, release through the mouth. Maybe take one more breath as you inhale. Exhale, release. Okay, let's go on to the other side. So let's set ourselves up. Place your forehead on the floor. Tuck your chin into your chest. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way, so the non-normal way. That's it. Roll the shoulders back, and as you inhale, ground your pelvis into the earth beneath you. And then on your next inhale, draw the hands away from the body. Lift the chest high. Lift the feet, lift the head off the ground, coming into your locust pose. Keep breathing here in this pose. As you inhale, perhaps lift a bit higher. As you exhale, keep it strong. Send it to areas that perhaps need a little bit of energy. Use your breath to help hold this pose. And then as you exhale, bring the arms back into the body, lower your forehead to the ground, and then release the fingers as you place your left cheek on the floor. That's it. Wiggle your hips from left to right. Fantastic. And then place your forehead on the ground. Place your hands either side of your chest. You're just going to push yourself back, bringing the knees out wide again, coming to that child's pose again. So letting the forehead come towards the ground, really feeling a lovely rounding of the spine now. So this is our counter pose. We're feeling a lovely broad stretch along the back of our spine, along the lower back. That's it. Just breathe into this posture. Let's breathe into that lower back. Okay, so now we're going to inhale, we're going to come up to our tabletop position, bring the knees underneath your hips, tuck the toes in, and this is the last downward facing dog, so press into your 10 fingers, sit the heels back, and as we inhale, lift the hips high. Perhaps notice how this downward facing dog feels in comparison to when you first started. And then from here, let's inhale, come up onto your toes. As you exhale, draw your heels back and down towards the back of the mat, feeling that lovely stretch along the back of the legs. Do that one more time. So as you inhale, come up onto your toes. And as you exhale, release through the mouth as you bring the heels back and down towards the mat. You don't need to touch, it's just the idea to help you feel the stretch along the back of the legs. Fantastic. And so now we're going to take a look at our hands and we're going to take a deep knee bend. And then we're going to walk up, tiptoe our feet all the way up to the top of the mat to meet our hands, coming into a lovely forward fold here. Shake the head from left to right. Perhaps we bring the hands from, like swing the arms from left to right too. Just feeling that nice stretch, keeping a knee bend here so that our chest is on our thighs. And we can feel a lovely stretch along the back of our legs. And then we're just going to come to a still position here. And on your next inhale, you're going to slowly roll yourself, drawing your fingers up the front of your legs, but slowly, 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 one vertebra at a time. Engage in the core as we slowly come up, with our head being the last thing to come up. Coming to our standing mountain pose. Standing strong at the front of our mat. Take your time to come up to this position. Fantastic. So keep facing the front of your mat. I'm just going to face you to demonstrate. And then from here, we're going to come into our eagle pose. So can we place our feet hip width apart? So little bits apart, feet facing forwards. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring the arms out wide. As we exhale, we're going to bring the arms in front of us and place the right hand on top of the left. And the option to place your hands on your elbows, on your shoulders, lifting your elbows. Or you may want to see if you can bring the backs of your hands together or even the palms coming into our eagle arms. So from here, you want to draw the elbows down, but your forearms away from you, feeling a lovely stretch along the back, upper back. And then as you next exhale, let's take a deep knee bend here. You're going to then, so we're coming into like a semi-child pose here, chair pose here. Place your weight into your right foot and then slowly lift your left foot off the ground and see if you can place it on top of your right leg. Option to stay here and place the left toes on the floor, or see if you can, if you're balanced, bring the bend into it and see if you can wrap yourself around, coming into eagle legs and eagle arms. Draw those elbows and your forearms away from your face and maybe sink a little bit deeper here. Wherever you are, keep breathing, keep focused here. So if your toes are on the floor, that's fine, but keep it nice and tight here. And then as you exhale, you're going to unravel the arms, unravel the legs. See if you can feel that sensation of the blood going into your fingers and your toes. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Okay, so we're going to try that on the opposite side. So as you inhale, let's bring the arms out wide. As you exhale, place the right hand on top of the left. And then inhale, lift the arms up high. We've just done that. Swap sides, sorry. Just swap arms. Then as you exhale, sit down bend down deeply into your heels. You're going to shift the weight over into your left foot. See if you can lift your right leg off the floor and then cross it over the top of your left foot. Either placing the toe on the floor or seeing if you can wrap it all the way around, standing on that one leg, but keep your hips square. So draw that your right hip back and your left hip forward. Just coming into that pose, whichever variation you are in. Keep breathing. So as you inhale, draw the elbows, your forearms away from your face. Keep that focus. Perhaps think a little bit deeper. Maybe notice the difference between the two sides here. And then as you inhale, your next inhale, release the arms, release the legs, and just feel that feeling. Perhaps the blood rushing to your fingers and your toes. Ooh, my shoes just gone off. Fingers and toes. That's it. And then bring the hands down. Let's inhale the arms up to reset. Exhale, bring the hands down into heart center. Fantastic. Then we're going to inhale, lift the arms up high. As we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips, bending at the legs, coming to a forward fold here. Take a deep knee bend, press your hands into the ground. Step your left foot back and then your right come into your plank position. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, and then walk the hands back to your knees as we slowly roll ourselves up, coming into an upright on your kneeling position. So we're now going to go into a camel. So hopefully we're feeling a little bit warmer now in our back. So let's just set ourselves up. If you do have a blanket or anything, you might want to put it under your knees or fold the mat up so it's a little bit more protection. Make sure the knees are now in line with our hips, and while we're all in one body, so our shoulders are over our hips, which are over our knees. Press into the tops of the feet. And we're going to imagine that there's a block or something in between our legs, so we're engaging our inner thighs, okay? We're going to place our hands on our sacrum, so our fingers are facing downwards. We're going to roll the shoulder blades back, draw the elbows together. Okay, so we're already opening through the chest. As you inhale, we're going to elongate the spine. And then imagine you're trying to paint a rainbow. So instead of just tilting backwards, we're going up and over to lift our chest up towards the ceiling. Engaging those inner thighs together, so we're squeezing together. Don't allow your knees to stray backwards. Take the gaze up towards the sky. Keep breathing into the ribs here. And as you next exhale, bring your chin onto your chest and bring yourself back up to an upright position. Just swing the arms side to side. That's it. So that's the first option. If you'd like to try the next option, or if that's enough for you today, then just try that one again. So if you want to try the next option to try and get into more of a camel pose, tuck the toes under so our heels are up, which gives us a little bit more height. Let's set ourselves up again. So roll the shoulders back, bring the fingers facing downwards onto our sacrum. We're going to draw the elbows together. Make sure that our inner thighs are squeezing together. And as we inhale, let's lift up tall. As we exhale, let's come into that back bend as we go over that rainbow shape. Then you may want to release one hand onto your heel and your other hand onto your heel, coming into a camel pose here. Option to keep the gaze up towards the ceiling or to release the neck if you're in this pose. Okay, keep breathing here to bring the hips forward. Wherever you are, whether you're in the back bend, keep opening through the chest. We're really lifting that heart high up into the sky. And then if you wish, you may want to untuck the hip toes to give you a little bit more depth into this camel position. But please listen to your body and just do what feels right today. And then on your next exhale, you're going to bring your chin to your chest. Engage the core as we bring ourselves up, placing the hands back onto our lower back, taking a seat, sit down onto our heels, and then we're going to place the hands out in front of us, slowly, and then place the forehead or the top of the head onto the ground. And just take a moment here in our counter pose. And then from here, we're going to walk our hands in towards our body. You're going to sit your bottom down to the left side and bring the legs out in front of you. So we're coming into our staff pose. The legs straight, grounded through the sit bones, pulling up nice and tall, flexing the feet, pulling up through the thighs. Placing the hands either side of our hip bones, lifting the chest. So there's a lot going on in this pose. It's not just a simple legs out. That's it. And then relax the heels back down towards the ground, lift air up. Inhale, lift the arms up high. As you exhale, you're going to tilt forward, coming into a little forward fold here. So if you need to bend the legs, bend the legs. Just come into a lovely forward fold here. And relax the head. So going into another counter pose. So either take hold of your thighs, your calves, or your ankles, or even just place the elbows down onto the ground beneath you or the hands. And just roll, draw the shoulder blades apart as we come into our counter pose. Shape the head from left to right. Fantastic. And then slowly roll ourselves up, come into a long spine, crown of the head facing the front. We're going to bend our right leg over our left knee, take hold of our right, hug our right knee with our left arm, place our right hand behind us, and as we inhale, we grow tall. As we exhale, that's when we turn towards the back of the room. As we inhale, grow tall, and on your exhale, that's when you twist towards that back hand. Do that with your own breath as you inhale, find space. And then as you exhale, twist. And then slowly on your next exhale, come back to center. Relax that right leg out in front of you. And then bend the left leg, place the left sole of the foot on the outside of our right knee. Hug your left knee with your right hand. Bring your left hand behind you. And as you inhale, you lift tall. As you exhale, you twist towards the back. So inhale, twist tall. And if you would like more of a twist, place your right elbow on the outside of your left knee, hands splayed. So you get a bit more of a twist here, but the option is yours. And then on your next exhale, slowly come back to center. Untuck that left foot, placing the sole of your left foot on the floor. Bring your right foot beneath it. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly lower ourselves for the count of 10 towards the floor. So ground your feet into the earth, keeping the knees straight. So imagining there's a block in between our knees. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down towards the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then lower the shoulders, lower the head to the ground. Place the hands either side of you. And then you're going to inhale. You're going to bring the knees in towards your chest. And then you're going to bring the knees in line with your hips, keeping your legs straight and in parallel to the floor beneath you. And then bring your hands reaching the top towards the ceiling. We're just going to engage our abdominals and our core. So as we inhale, we reach. As you exhale, you're going to draw your right hand and your left leg towards either end of the mat. So lower them down. And then inhale, bring them up back to where we started. That's it. Engage that core. And then as we next exhale, lower the left arm and the right leg. Inhale, come back up. That's it. Keeping that core engaged. Let's do that one more time. Draw the right arm, left leg towards either end of the mat. Inhale, come back up. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, draw the left arm, right leg towards the end of the mat. Inhale, come back up. Lovely. And then bring the knees into the chest. Hug yourself here. Give yourself a lovely hug. Maybe bring your forehead up to your knees and just rock yourself from side to side, giving that lower back a lovely massage here. Brilliant. And then exhale, lower the head, lower the shoulders to the earth. You're going to straighten, extend that left leg towards the front of the mat now. That's it. And then interlace your fingers around your right knee or right shin. And as you inhale, find space. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest or even in towards your right shoulder socket, coming into a reclined pigeon. So using your breath now to really find space. And as you exhale, maybe if you can sink a little bit deeper into this pose as you relax. And then from here, you're going to draw that right leg up towards the ceiling, perhaps taking a flex to that right foot. That right leg does not need to be fully straight. It can be still bent. And then interlace your hands around your thigh, your calf, or your ankle, whatever feels right for you. Whatever. As we come into a lovely hamstring stretch here, keep flexing that both feet so we really engage both leg muscles here. Perhaps as you inhale, you find space. As you exhale, you maybe have to draw that leg, that knee towards your chest a little bit more. And then release your hands, bend that knee in towards your chest. And then as you exhale, draw that knee over the top, over towards the left side. And then open your right hand out in line with your shoulders, taking your gaze over towards your right hand, coming into a lovely twist here. Round your shoulders into the earth, so your right knee does not need to touch the floor. Just feeling that lovely stretch on the right outer hip. Start to slow your breathing down now. And on your next inhale, bring that right knee into center. Draw the left knee in to meet the right. Perhaps feel the difference between the two sides. Just notice that now. And then extend the right leg towards the front of the mat. Interlace your fingers around the left shin. And then again, reverse pigeon on the left side. So as you inhale, find space. As you exhale, draw in. And perhaps if this is a particularly tough pose for you, or even when the leg's straight, just return perhaps to that mantra that we started with. As we inhale, I am loved. As you exhale, I am loving. And just remembering it's all about our self-love. And that means looking after ourselves. So just not over pushing our body, but just doing what's right for us today. And then start to straighten that left leg up towards the ceiling, flexing that left foot, flexing that right foot to engage the muscles. And interlace your fingers around your leg, avoiding the knee area. And as you inhale again, find space. As you exhale, release deeper in towards the pose, perhaps drawing that knee in towards us. Fantastic. Then bending that left knee, releasing the fingers, and then bringing that left knee over towards the right side, opening up either your arm out straight, or if you've got no room, you can cactus that left arm. So bending your arm at your elbow, so your elbow is in line with your shoulder, and then just coming into that twist, either keeping the head up towards the sky or taking that gaze over towards your left side. Keeping your shoulders glued and grounded into the earth beneath you. Starting to really slow that breath down as we come to our final poses. And as you inhale, draw that left knee in towards our chest. Bring the right knee in to meet. Then we're going to come into a happy baby pose. you're going to bring the knees out wide. So they're now in line with the outer of your shoulders, and then bring the feet up towards the ceiling. So you're like as if you're walking on the ceiling. You're then going to slide your hands on the inside of your legs, take hold of your inner foot arches, lower your head and your shoulders to the ground if you can, and then draw so your hands are drawing your feet down towards the earth. That's it. Feeling a lovely opening in the hips. Perhaps you may want to rock from side to side. This is a lovely pose again for releasing the lower back. So we've done a lot of back bends and heart openers today. So this may be nice for you. And then when you're ready, bring the feet in towards your bottom, release the hands, bring the knees together. Just give yourself one final full body hug. So bring your forehead up towards your knees, perhaps rock from side to side. And then on our next inhale, breathe in. And then as you exhale, slowly start to extend your legs, lower your head down towards the earth. Extend the legs out towards the front of your mat. Allow the feet to fall wide, your hands facing upwards. And then just allow yourself to melt, relax, coming into your relaxation pose, your Shavasana. So let's just take a deep inhale together through the nose. And as you exhale, release the jaw, release, open the mouth, and just sigh it all out. Let go of your practice. Just come into this final relaxation. Relaxing your face, your arms, your hips, your legs. Just let it go. And then slowly start to bring awareness back in towards your body. Perhaps start to deepen your breath. And perhaps start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, making some small movements, starting to wake up the body. Perhaps moving your neck from left to right. Then on your next inhale, when you're ready, take the arms above the head, coming into a full body stretch here. And then when you're ready, roll yourself over towards the right side, bending at the knees. Just take a moment here to allow the body to balance. Keeping the eyes soft now. And then when you feel ready, just gently push into your hands. Come into a seated position, perhaps keeping the eyes soft. Sit grounding through the sit bones. Sitting up tall, placing the backs of your hands on your knees. And then as you next inhale, bring the arms out wide, above the head, bringing them to meet in prayer. And then as you exhale and start to draw your hands to heart center, start to blink open the eyes. Just take a moment here to thank yourself for giving yourself that time on the mat, for yourself. And then on your next exhale, bend over, bow over your legs to seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you...
Thank you.
That's all right. You have a lovely rest of the evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.